So I hope that you guys are ready to create your first website, or you say first React app with JavaScript. So today we are going to build the home page of this website. That is this part, the home, this first title part, and this image gallery and bottom. Not the footer and all this, but first of all we will be building this stuff, and after that we will be going on with this header, this nav bar, and this footer in the next episode of the series. Okay, so here I have already done npm start and launched the web app on the on my browser. So let's get going. So first of all, I had to create some files regarding here. So first of all, I need to create a file and then import it in my app.js so that I could just push it into the app and I could browse through it, right? So first of all, let me create a folder called components here in the source itself. So I will create something called components. Okay, some spelling mistake. And in this components folder, I will create something called home.js. This will be our first component. Okay, so here let's just say rfce. Now if I do something like h1, it is not showing me any results, right? So what you have to do is below here you will see something called JavaScript. You have to change it here. Okay, you have to change it to React. So just click on it and type React, and you will see the first option, that is JavaScript React. Click on it, and now you will be able to see these suggestions, that is h1 and all. So currently we don't need that. I will just give it a class name, which will be home itself. Okay, home. And then we also need to do some styling for this. So I'm also creating a style sheet for this home.js. So let's create it. So let's search for home style. Let's make it capital, home style dot css. Okay, so we have created this. Now we need to import the styling into this home.js. And how are we going to do that? We just say import, and then in the quotes we just need to say dot slash, because it is in the same folder. It is in the same folder component. So I'm just saying dot slash and the name of that file, homestyle.css, and now it is imported. So now to just put this home.js into our React app, what are we gonna do is let's first specify the nh1 in here. So here, hi, I am home.js. That's it. Now let's just specify, import it in the app.js. So as you have installed that ES7 snippets, which I had told about in my previous video in this series, so that will help you for your productivity. So what does it do? You just press the enter this, and then you just add home, and you see a suggestion here, right? Press on it and it will auto import itself. Okay, so just see what are we going there. In React, just remember that you have to close each and everything like this. But in HTML you have something like images. Let me say images. You have an img tag. Let me go here. Let me show that to you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go here, and if I talk about an img tag, you see it is not closed here. But in React, in JSX, we actually need to close it this way. This has to be there. Without it, it will show an error to you. So I'm just removing that, and again I'm heading back to app.js, and in app.js also I'm turning it to React as before we done for the home.js. Then I have imported this home. Now you will be able to see what is happening here. If I refresh it, it should show us. So here you can see, hi, I am home.js. You actually don't need to refresh it back again and again. It automatically refreshes, but sometimes in some cases you have to refresh it if it doesn't. Okay, so just remember that. And what are we going to do next is just design this home.js. Let me close this index.html and go to this home.js. And here we're gonna do the following stuff. So first of all, what are we going to do? Here, first of all, we will be making this site. Okay, this the above one. So what am I going to do for that? So first of all, I'll go to reactjs course, and I mean here, just change the tab, and then I will create something like div with a class of home1. I am bad at giving names to classes, giving class names and all that, so just feel free to just say anything to me, okay? So that's not important what is the class name, just the thing which is important is how are we building it. Is it beautiful? Is it working good? And all. That's it, okay? So don't worry about that. Then first of all, we are having this brand text up here. So let me make it half size so that it's better for you and me to understand. Okay, good. Now, first of all, we are going to make this right on track. So we will just specify a span element under a P. So I'll put a P tag. In that, I will give a span. And in this span, I will give the text right on track. So right on track. That's it. Now it should be here, and you see it is here without refreshing this time. And after that, we are going to make this stuff. So let's make it. So then I will give this following stuff with an H1. Okay. So if I press H1, enter, and then I would say 2019 TrackMed on SLR, track add-on slr, and that's it. We have done this, and then now let's just paste this stuff along a p tag and give it a class name for some random class name. So I'll give a class name of say bike lanes. Okay, let's give it a class name, say bike lanes. So guys, I want to give you a tip. Okay, so whenever you are developing something, just remember that if you are giving a class name with the you want to give like it's bike lines here, I can't join them, right? So previously I often gave it a dash, but now recently I realized that giving dash is not that good. Giving underscore is what it has to be happen, because I have seen many code files nowadays which just have this. So most of the people are doing this in big tech companies also. Their code is just with an underscore, not with a dash. But you can also use a dash. Don't worry about that. If you have done that, that's not wrong. But I am preferring you to use this. It's your choice. Okay. So that's it. And now if I save it, you're gonna see it up here. So this is the thing we have done till now. And then what are we going to do? We are just going to give this button, okay, which also have an over effect. So let's get going. So first of all, I will, after this p, I'm gonna create a button tag. So button, in this button, what will we give? We will give browse. Oh my god, browse more bytes. That's it. And now there should be a button, and here it is. Then let's give it an say. Let's say that we have a ID for it, because it's the only button. We are not going to specify it anywhere else. So let's just give it a random ID. Let's say browse bikes. Browse. Oh my god. Browse bikes. Okay, now it's all right. No more mistakes. And then we need to specify image gallery and home bottom, which we'll be doing as a separate component. Okay, we will be including it in home as we. So just listen that we have included home in app.js, right? And we will be including this image gallery in home. Just understand, it's like a step, or you can say a tree. The tree is app.js. In that tree, home.js is a branch. This home.js is a branch in which these you say this image gallery and this home bottom will be what? Will be its fruits, or you say leaves, something like that. Okay, understand this analogy. It will be much better with examples, right? So we'll be separating them later on. And now let's just work with this styling for this home.js first of all. So what I am going to do, I just need some images for it. So let me just copy them. So now I have copied the image URL, and let's now begin the styling part. So first of all, I will give a basic styling this to our dot home, which will be first of all, I'll give it a minimum height. So now what this minimum height does, the height should be a minimum of 100 view heights, which is this height. Okay, this complete white space which is available currently. Okay, and more than that, minimum height, just say that it should be minimum of 100 view heights. That's it. Okay, then we are giving the width, say 100 view width, and after that, what are we going to do? We just need to style this home one, we just specified up here. Okay, and then okay, first of all, let's check whether the styling is getting applied or not. I will be just giving it a background, say black. Yes, it's working. And after that, I'm just gonna say dot home one, and in this we are just gonna give some styling. So the width of this one, it will also be 100 view widths. And after that, what will be there? We will be having some minimum height. Actually, minimum height or 100 view heights will be good here because we are just giving it some fixed height, because this will be the fixed height for it, not anything more than that for home one, right? So it's fine if you just give height here, or min height is also fine, no errors will come. And then let's give it a background. So I will just say background, then URL, and then in this URL I'm just gonna paste it. So this is the URL, and now you should be able to see that image up here, but we have to style this background, right? Okay, now I'm just giving a background to this home dot one, but there is one more way where you can do this. What will be that? So you will just add an image in this home. I'm not doing that, I'm just explaining that what is that other way. Okay, so just listen. So first of all, I will define an image which will be this image itself, and then we will make all the other elements absolute, their position to be absolute, and then we can just align them here and there wherever we want. But I feel that this way is much better and much faster to browse through, so I'm just going with this method. Okay, so now we just say background position to be centered, and we have background repeat to be no repeat. This is, you may include it or not include it. It's just okay. Don't worry about that. Some things like this, I'm just randomly adding them because I have a habit of adding them for more safety. So this will be cover. Background size will be cover, and now this should be good. And if you see it now, it's perfectly all set, right? And there are some things which we need to do. We just need to give it a padding. We just need to give this home one a padding so that all the elements inside the home one element have some space with from the borders, right? So let's specify that to be 50 pixels, and now it should be good. And now let's remove this overflow x, okay, from our file itself. So I will be going to app.css, and in here I will be just saying dot app, it's not actual, so dot app, and overflow x, I will keep this overflow x to be hidden, and now it should not be there, and yeah, boom, it's gone. Okay, so this is it, and then what are we going to do? We just need to style these things, so let's get going. So I will close this app.css and going to go to homestyle.css, and then I will be working on dot bike info. So okay, dot bike info, then I will be saying color to be white, and then we will be saying position to be absolute. As I said, we are going to make position absolute, and then we will just bring all this text to the bottom. That's it. Then from bottom, it should be 50 pixels. Okay, so now it should be working, but I don't know why it's not working. Let's refresh it. Nothing's happening. I think there is some mistake I did. Okay, so we need to specify something like this. Bike infos h1. Okay, some error is coming. I don't know why it's happening, but let me refresh it. If I change this to background, I mean, let me just see you guys once. Let me just stop the recording and check out what's the error here. So guys, the mistake is a silly mistake here. Nothing very complex. So what I did is I didn't create the bike info element anywhere. So I just need to add that first and then these elements and all this stuff later on. So bike info, and in this bike info we have to add this p tag and all, and now you see it's styled. Yes, it's looking good now, right? So a silly mistake, don't worry about that. Sometimes it happens. Now let's play with the H1 here. So I'll copy this bike info and then paste it here. Then I will give an H1 here. And then this H1 I will say font size. Font size to be 3.3 RAM. And now it should be big. And yeah, it is. Then we are just gonna give these bike lines some width so that they just don't go from here to here, they just stop in between somewhere. So let's just give these dot bike lines some width. Okay, so dot bike lines, and I'm just giving them a width of 50 view width. Okay, so now you see they are just stopping at half. And then let's give that button, this button, some styling. So I'll just say hashtag browse bikes, and in this browse bikes, what are we gonna say? Let's say some padding of 20 pixels, and then what are we gonna get? Ads. Let's add a background. Not background size. It's background, and the background will be what? It will be transparent. So transparent, and now good. You see it? It's changed. And after this background transparent, what are we gonna go? Border. Let's give it a border of 5 pixels. 5 pixels. Solid white. White will be awesome, as we did in the previous one, the example one. So, and then I will be just saying color to be white, and as the color is white, it should be white. And then let's give it some font size, the so that it's just become a little bigger. I'll say 1 rem and save it. You see now it's looking good and better. Now to make these text a little bolder like this one, we have to do something like font size. So I'll say font size, and in this font size I'll just give specify 800 so that it's a little bolder. And now I don't think it's happening, but it should happen. Okay, I don't know what's the error this time. I think it happened. I don't. Okay, the mistake. You see, guys, I'm very silly. So font, it should be font weight, not font size, and now it's changed. And then let's give it some letter spacing so that the letters are a bit farther from each other. That would be 1 pixel. So now you see it's looking bang on. And then let's talk about this margin top so that it's a little farther away from our this text. Okay, so that I could give that hover effect where it is going a bit up from its position actually. So what am I going to do? I'm just giving some random 30 pixels so that it's a bit farther, and yeah, good. And then I will just give a transition. So why are we giving transition here? Because we have to give a smooth over effect, right? I will specify it to be 0.3 seconds ease, completely smooth. What does it do? When I hover on it, you see it is going to the top. But if this transition is not there, it will just suddenly go there. Let me show you it with proof. So now let's define its hover effect, okay? So the hashtag browse bikes, hashtag browse bikes. Let's do this. Okay, then I will be specifying the hover effect, and in hover we just need to say translate y, let's say 20 pixels or minus 20 pixels, right? So now just see when I hover over it, something should happen, but and nothing is happening here. I just said translate z. So let me also tell that when will we use translate z? We will use translate z when it is something like 3D. You have to bring your object towards yourself, not to the up or bottom. So when I said translate Z here, it just comes towards me, not up or bottom. That's why I don't see any effect. But now you see when it's translate Y, it's just going up suddenly. But I don't want that. I want it to be smooth. Now it should be smooth, and you see this, it is smooth, right? And now let's just specify some, what do we say that? This responsiveness. Now you see when I just show you its responsiveness, it should not be too good. Okay, so let me just go here, say responsive, and when I make it short, you see this trackmed SLR text is not looking so good, and this padding is becoming more, and this text is going totally to the top, and which is not at all good. Okay, you see this, and yeah, let's fix this out. So let me just do something like this and close it. Okay, and after this again make me it small, and yeah, now let's work on media queries. So I'll say at the rate media, and now when will we use media? We will use media when we have to change some part of the website with a given specified width or height as you wish. So I'm here specifying max width to be 500 pixels. It should be 500 pixels. So what does this mean? When the width of this browser is 500 pixels, a minimum of, you say, at least 500 pixels or less than that. Okay, not at least, at most it should be 500 pixels or less than that. Then this particular styling in this media element, or you say in this media query, applies. So what are we going to say? Dot home one, and then we are just giving it some padding left, some padding from the left side, which will be 10 pixels. And after that, we will be specifying what we will be just styling this bike info. Okay, so just say dot bike info, and in this bike info we will also give it from left as 10 pixels because it is some position absolute, right? So let me make it much smaller, and now it is good because now it is under 500 pixels and under our control. And then let's just style this bike info h1. So I'll just copy it from here, paste it in this media query, and then I just want to make its size a bit smaller because that much size is not at all good for mobile view. So just say to rems to make it small, and now you see it's actually smaller than before. Then we just need to style these bike lines, right? So let's go with them. I just need to change its width, so I'll copy whole of that and then specify it here. Okay, good. And then I'm just saying that its width should become 85, and then I'm just changing its font size to something different. So what will be font size? I'll just say it to be small. Okay, font size small or smaller. Let's say small. That should be good. And yeah, it is good. And now you see it. It's good, right? So what are we going to do next? This is our home. The topmost section is completely made. The making of this topmost section is done, guys. We made it as it is. You see here, it's as it is. But you may be feeling that this wallpaper is a bit bigger and this one is a bit smaller. It's because I have hidden the scroll bar up here, and there is no header or nav bar options here, so that's the reason. So first of all, what I will be doing, I will be going to app.css, and I will be just saying overflow y to be hidden. Overflow y to be hidden actually. And now you see it should be almost same. And why doesn't it work? Okay, it's we I think we should definitely add it to the index.css, not app.css, to get the perfect functioning. So I'll be going here, and in this body I will be pasting that stuff. So not all this, I will be just saying this, control X, and remove this app from here and paste it up. Now it's removed. You see it? Yes. Now it's perfectly alright. And now let's get going. And after that, we need to create this image gallery at the bottom. But before that, I have created something called an empty element previously when I made this stuff, so that I could just have some gap here which looks completely amazing, right? So to give it some gap, that's it, nothing else than that. So let's create something like that here. First of all, I'm going home.js, and after this, after what, after this component, after this topmost part, I will be adding that dot empty up there. What will I do? I will just go here and I will create something like dot empty so that I just specify it to be empty. And yeah, now I have to style this empty, right? So let's do that first of all. So I'll just give it some random height with a background of black because my website is completely black here. So it should be black. So I'm just going to specify this empty, and let's go to index.css because it is the main one. So if I do any changes here, it's gonna get applied to the whole of our web app. But whereas if I do that in homestyle.css, it's gonna just be applied to this particular section. That's it. So that's why we are doing this particular changes in here. So I'll create dot empty, and in this dot empty, what we'll be saying, just say background to be black, and then width to be 100 view width, and then some height to be say 50 pixels, or just say 65 pixels, which should be too good. And now you should be seeing some black region after it. But as I have hidden this scroll bar here, I'm just gonna get that back. This should not be done right now. So why I just why you're not able to see it here, but you are able to scroll, right? But when I remove it from our code here, I'm not able to scroll down. Why so? Because in this project I have not removed it. I've just said to hide it. So we will be doing that stuff at the end of the series, not now, or maybe I will be doing that in the next episode. Okay, don't worry about that. Now it's completely responsive. Yeah, completely. And now let's going for the image gallery section. So I'll be creating something called image gallery.js up here. So let's get going. So I'll be going to this components folder, and then I will just be creating something called as image gallery.js. So I'll be saying image gallery.js, and respectively a styling for it, image gallery dot css. And now let me close unnecessary things we have open here. So let's do that. First of all, I'll make it big, and then we have this home style. Just close it. Then we have this index.css. Let's close it. And then in this app.js, we don't need it right now. So let's make it off again. So yeah. And now let's give it a class. Say image gallery class name equal to image gallery. And let me do the same thing up here, that is React JavaScript. And okay, let me remove this. And then what are we going to do? We are going to give some h3 here, which is this one. Get ready for a bang. Okay, so let us specify an h3 and place it in there. And now we should have it at the bottom, but we are not able to see it because it is black. Text is also black. Okay, so don't worry, I'll be styling it in a few minutes. And then we actually need to add this gallery container where we are having our images, right? So we are having these images. So we'll be doing that in a few minutes. So let me make it. So first of all, let's create a div called as gallery font, or you can say gallery container. and I need to copy these images from, so I will be just doing that from the sources file. Okay, so let me just copy it. So guys, now let's paste those images up here, and yeah, now those images should be here, but it's not, so okay. So let me just tell you that why this h doesn't came up here. I just misunderstood that because we have not imported this image gallery yet. So to just import it, first of all, let's import its own style sheet first of all. Let's say import, and what do we gonna import? We just import image, not image, it's image, bro, image gallery.css. Okay, so now we have just imported it. Then let's just include it in our home. After this empty, so we're just saying image, and you will be seeing something like here. Here is my suggestion. I'll click on it, and our React snippets will automatically import it at the top. So how are you going to import it? You will just say import, then you will specify that what name do you want. Here you can give any random name. It's your choice. From, you will say from where are you importing it? From this particular folder, that is dot slash image gallery. You need not specify .js because it actually looks for .js. Okay, but if you are importing CSS, you need to import it. Okay, yeah, this part is good. Now it should be there, and you see, get ready for a bang. All the images are here, and we just need to style our image gallery. Woo! We just added all the images. Now what are we going to do? We just need to style our image gallery, right? So let's go to image gallery.css. Let's close this JS for now, home.js even, and now let's get started with this. So I'll say I am dot image gallery first of all. But image gallery, and in this image gallery I will give it a width as usual of 100 view width, and then I'll give it a padding of say 20 pixels comma 0. Why this 20 pixels will be applied to padding top and padding bottom, and the padding left and right will be 0 here. And then I'll just give it a background of black as usual. Background of black. Guys, just listen. I have read in many places that when we are creating something dark, okay, when we are creating something dark, we should not use dark black there. But sometimes after making this project, I realized that sometimes it's good to create darks also. I mean dark blacks also, real blacks also, not shades of gray. Sometimes black also looks too good, right? So I think this is not applied here. Let me refresh it and check. Okay, so there is some error. Let me go to image gallery.js and image gallery.css. I don't see any error, but why is it not imported? Or did I did any mistake here? Okay, it's dot image gallery. I just said img gallery. So image, now it should be working fine, and yeah, now it's black. Okay, and then we just need to do some other stylings. That will be our display flex, and then I'll just give it a flex direction of column, and then align items to the center, and the color to be. Now let me explain what is happening here. So what is display flex? It is just kind of a display thing. You have heard about grid and flex. It's so. And now what is this flex direction column? It is just aligning all the elements under this image gallery column wise. Like it will make different rows. Now this image gallery will be, I mean this gallery count will be one element, and this get ready for a blank text will be one element. So both of them are aligned in a column, and then align item center, this means that everything is at the center of our page, right? Now we have to do for the styling, that is our .img galleries h3, right? So what this image gallery is not good for me because we are just typing again and again. I'll make it img so that it's much better. Okay, and now it's img gallery, it's working all right. Back again, then I will just say dot img gallery space h3. We have to select the h3, and then we just need to do some changes for it. Z index of 2. Now why I did that, you will understand about it later on. Font size to from, or let me just explain it right now why I did that. Now the font size is bigger. Okay, good. Now because in here I've added this hover effect, right? It is growing up. So what happens when I hover over is this particular card or this particular image grows more than that text, and it covers it. So that's not what I want. So that's why I give it a z index. So it's always on top of this image wherever it is. Then let's just style our dot gallery font. Dot gallery underscore font. And let's style it. So we have some random grid text here. So let me just specify some random width here. So 1330 pixels, which is a better width for large sizes. Then background to be black. And then we just set display to be grid. Display to be grid, and then I want our, what do we say, that justify content to be center. Let me scroll up and you can see better. And then place items at the center, not place content, it's place items at the center. Now it's good. Yes, now just placing items at the center, and then we have some other stylings. Say grid template columns. This would be one FR space one FR space one FR. FR means one fractional unit, and there are three columns. As here it is two, we are actually saying three here. You will understand why we are doing that. Don't worry, guys. Just keep on going. Or we can either change this to our, what do we say, that to display flex, and then change it randomly. But what we can do is when it is of max size, we are just saying that this is so, but we are making the browser size short, then we will make its display flex and work on it. Okay, so that's how we'll be doing that. Now this is one. Then we'll say grid template rows. Grid template rows will be what it is also same. So I'm just copying this up and then pasting it up here, FR, and now there should be three rows. We're not able to see anything perfectly because not we have not styled it completely. Then we just need to say gap between will be 0 pixels comma 0 pixels. Okay, and after that we need to give grid template area so that it should just align itself in some perfectly. Okay, so grid template areas, it should be something like, let me just do it much better, not none. It is kind of everything different, so I will just do something like this, then dot space dot space dot. Okay, and after that I will be saying this again, then again dot space dot space dot. This just tells that how you are aligning your items in grid. Okay, now we just need to specify these images and it should be all good. So now let me just select the image, gallery conts img, give me that img in the gallery cont, and just make their object fit size to be what? To be cover. This just says that when the image is smaller, just fit it according to the size of the object. I mean the device or your machine. Then I'll give each image a width of 400 pixels. 400 pixels, then a margin of 20 pixels, and then we will be giving it a transition. We'll be giving it a transition of say 0.3 seconds of ease. And now you see there they came up. We make them big. Now they are all good. Similar to this one up here, the original one. Yes. Now we just need to specify some hover effects. Now let me keep it big. Okay, okay, keeping big, it's time waste, so let's just get going a bit faster. So dot gallery con back again. dot gallery cons. Now I'm just giving it a scroll bar. The scroll bar for this gallery count will be like none. I don't want a scroll bar for this. The same thing we have to do it here, but we have to go to some other file and do that later on. Okay, so I'll be doing that in the next part. Don't worry about that. Just say display none. And why I'm doing this, because when I will be specifying it to be flex, then we have the scroll bar will come up right there, and I don't want that to happen. Then we just say dot gallery cons img, and here I want to give a over effect to that img, which would be on transform. I mean on transform. What is it? Yes, transform. Give it a scale of what, 1.2. Now it should be growing big. You see, we already specified a transition, so it's growing big as usual. Then we just need to specify some media queries for this one as well as before. So at the rate media, so there will be a bit of more media queries because the this image gallery should be different at different sizes. So let's say 1200 pixels for the first one. I actually remember this max with this media queries because when I was making this project, I just did a lot of research that which one will be best according to my image. I just calculated it using calculators, and you just don't know. It's just actually took a lot of time to get this perfect width sizes and all. So I'll just say get dot gallery count back again, and I'm just saying this time it will be display flex as I said before. And now what am I going to do? Display flex and then justify content to the left. Start everything from the left and then flex wrap. And what does this flex wrap does? I remember when I talked about this flex wrap in some of my other video, but which video I don't know exactly. I just said that. So flex wrap should be no wrap actually. No, this is 1200 pixels, right? There should be wrap, but when it is in mobile view we should have no wrap. I will tell you that while making designing it for mobile view, just wait for that. So just say dot gallery font and img, because we all also need to make the size of the our img small along with the screen, right? So now it should be good, and now you see something different here. Now now all the images are inside this. Before it was not so. So what happened here actually? We go here, it's same, right? You see here, it's not same. We have three images up there also. So why it is happening? Because we need to style something else also. Okay, let me check what is it. So it's not from there. We need to actually specify or give it some fixed width of say 100 view heights, view width I mean. Then it should be perfect, and now you see it's perfect as before. Then let's give it some say justify content to the center. I gave it left, it should not be left, just give it center, and so that it's in center, or if I remove it, it should still be fine. And yeah, it is fine, so not needed. Let's remove that. And now let's style for our, what do we say that, our mobile view, right? At the rate, let me just copy this. Why I'm typing it again and again, I don't know. Habit, guys, habit, badass habits. So it should be 500 pixels this time. And then what are we going to say? We just say gallery count back again, and this time also it's display flex, and then we just say justify content to left this time, because what happens when I make it much smaller is it's now scrollable. I can't scroll it with a mouse, right? I have to use a mobile for that. So let's do that. And okay, not so. If I press F12, it will open it, and now you could be able, yes, now now I'm able to scroll it, right? So this way we have to do the same thing for here also. So justify content to the left, and then we just say flex wrap to no wrap this time. What does this flex wrap actually do? So when we are display flex means these images are adjusting in a row continuously side by side. But what does flex wrap do? When there is no more space so that a new image can come up there, it will push it to the next row. So that's what happens with flex wrap. But when we are defining it for a mobile view, I just want everything to be straight, so no flex wrap right there. And then we just giving it an overflow X of scroll, and that's why I have previously hidden the scroll bar so that it should not come up in our mobile view, and now it should be good. And after that we just need to do some other stylings as well as that. So I'll just say dot img gallery h3 would be like font size to be what, let's give say 1.5 rem. It should be perfect, I guess. Let me make it small, and now it's good. Yes. And then we just gonna give the images also. We also need to change the image size. So I'll just say gallery const img, select the image from the gallery con, and then give it a width. Make its width a bit smaller, because there is no mobiles which are I mean there is no mobile whose width is less than 300 pixels. And yes, there is one which is Galaxy Fold. Just don't use that phone. It's just mind blowing phone. A phone which is mind blowing. I mean, two-sided phone. You may be knowing it, guys. You may be knowing it about that Galaxy Fold. Let me show you what its width is actually. But before that, let's complete this stuff first of all. Then we are again having max width. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I don't know. So either, I mean, here we are just saying 310 pixels, and then back again we are just giving, there's not much left here, so I'll just say gallery count, and then we just need to say img. But why am I doing for this much smaller thing? Let me show you. So let me just write the code first of all, then I will show you. So dot gallery count image, the width becomes 200 pixels. Okay, now let's make it big. This is so, and as we make it small, it adjusts itself. And let me go to iPhone X. Now it is working all good, right? You can see it is scrollable. Let me make it a bit bigger, and it is scrollable, but we are not able to see complete image. So I'll just say 75 pixels. Okay, now why I added this 310 pixels media query? Let me show you. You see this white space coming at the sides. So when I make it much smaller, I am just specifying that, so that this is just for safety, guys. This is not an actual code, this is just for safety. Because as we are specifying some fixed width for each of our images, they are gonna be this small. When I remove it, you see what happens. Now we can't see each image in our space, in the space available. We can't see the complete image. So why I added this? So that even the screen size is small, a bit lesser than 310 pixels, we should be able to see that image, right? So that's why I just added that. No, nothing else than that. So that's it for this video. So just listen, I just said that I will show you this Galaxy Fold. So here it is. You can also browse through it. So you see this is the thinnest available screen ratio on the browser, that is 280 pixels multiplied by 653. Even iPhone X, which looks like very slim, but it is not. So it has 375, a lot more than that. Okay, so guys, that's it for this video. Okay, so why that's it? Because this video is going very long. So in the next section, what are we going to build? In the next video we will be building the following stuff. That will be this thing, and we'll be just building this nav bar, this header section, and this footer if possible, all of them in one video. And the upcoming sessions we'll be building this. And in the future sections, I will also be telling you about React Router so that you can make your single page applications which is working too good just like this one. Okay, and just listen, just keep up with this series, because at the end of this series I will also tell that how you are going to host your project via Firebase. Okay, so you know Firebase, it is too good. Even I have hosted my site which I just made here. This one is also hosted with Firebase. You see that this link looks like an official link, right? Just .web.app looks something like it's an web app, but it's fine. So you're gonna use this Firebase to host it, which is so damn, which is so good, so slick. So we will be using this for our hosting. So meet you again in the next part. We made this cool image gallery with grid and flex. So that's too amazing, guys. I will meet you again with my next video. Until then, bye bye, guys. Just listen to me. Just don't go anywhere. What do I say that? Yes. As in the next video, we'll be making a much more cool stuff like this nav bar. We will be using even material UI also. So the next episode is gonna be very important. So guys, don't miss. I just want to say that go to my channel, go to these playlists, and open this playlist and just save it. Okay, click on save playlist and save it, guys. I actually want you to save this because this episode is gonna be so slick. So I'll be waiting for you to save this playlist, which will help me to create more valuable content for you guys. So that's it. I will meet you again with another beautiful video just like this one. Until then, bye guys.